But now look what it says in Matthew 22:6. The remnant, meaning the people who were invited, took his servants and entreated them spitefully and slew them. There is no one who receives harsher words from Christian teachers than those who practice the single eye. Jesus Christ said, if your eye be single, your body will fill with light. If I tell you that, and I tell you that, I get all kinds of letters calling me a cult leader, a Satanist, and all of this stuff. Because why? Not because I made something up, but because I said, Jesus Christ said, if your eye be single, your body will fill with light. Jesus Christ said, you take away the key of knowledge because you don't enter within yourself. Luke 11:52. Jesus Christ said, if you want to catch fish, which is wisdom, cast your net to the right side, and you shall find. John 21:6. Jesus Christ said, take no thought, take no thought, take no thought. Matthew 6:25 to 6:33. I can do that stuff like the television. Anybody can do that. Do you ever see these guys come on, they quote every scripture at the end of everything? Look at me, look at me. Anybody can do that. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is when you teach what Jesus Christ taught, they'll point a finger at you and call you a cult. Because they'll say, don't follow him, follow us. But Jesus Christ, something he said, wisdom is known by her children. Take a look at the world. Take a look at the violence that has perpetuated the world. Do you think that God intended for the youth of this country and the world to be filled with drugs and committing suicide? Is that the legacy? But there's another way. And it says they slew them. They do whatever they can to kill the message. That generation killed Jesus Christ. He was killed by religious people. This generation has thoroughly killed and buried Hare Krishna, thoroughly killed and buried Shakyamuni Buddha, thoroughly killed and buried Zoroaster. In fact, people that go into church don't even know who Zoroaster is. People who go into church are afraid of Buddha. People who are going to church are afraid of Hare Krishna. After all, these people that hurt you, they have flowers in their hand. We don't understand flowers. We understand guns. You know, God's on our side. We have a gun. The people that God sent to Hare Krishna 5,000 years before Jesus said, the kingdom is within you. Zoroaster. Do you know what Zoroaster did? You haven't even heard of Zoroaster? Zoroaster was the chief of the tribe of the Magi from Iran. He was an Iranian prophet. He said, look into the sign of the Virgin Virgo and Coma, and you will see and understand it will lead you to the boy king. In other words, it was the tribe of astrologers led by this Iranian prophet Zoroaster that announced Jesus Christ. Who knows? Who did you have? Did they ever tell you that in your Sunday school when you were singing "O Little Star of Bethlehem" or whatever it is? What about Zoroaster? How come they don't mention his name? Because if it wasn't for him, the guys that had never found Jesus, why don't they tell you about him? And Shakyamuni Buddha, got to be afraid of him. He's a scary guy. After all, he gave his whole life to free people from the torment of their mind. He was so upset by little children suffering. He was so upset by old people suffering. He was so upset by war. He was so upset by the animals being abused. He was so upset by the earth being abused. You got to be afraid of a guy like that. Shakyamuni Buddha said, hell is the concentration that we make on our own perceived agony.